Hey, how are you? Catherine Davidson here, owner of Oodles and Schnoodles. Besides being a schnoodle lover and breeder, I am also a holistic health coach. And because of that, and because of my geeky brain and my love of studying, I have quickly learned that the dog body is very, very similar to the human body, and what I know about the human body can be applied to the dog body. And so this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to invite some people to let them know that I am on. And if nobody shows up, it's okay, because by George, the information is going to go out anyway. And while I have you on here and waiting to see if anybody else comes on, Bella had her puppies. She only had 4. It was her smallest litter. But that's good. This is good for her, being that this is her last litter. She was only exposed to Big Mo a couple of times, and so there they are. They're 4 very big, very healthy babies, and she had them without any problem. Hello. Is it, I bet you it's Eileen, A-I-L-E-E-N, Eileen? Is that how it's pronounced? Let me know if I got close. I try to get people's names correctly, although I am seriously the world's worst. And if you're on, say hi below. Let me know that you're on here. You will have heard some of this information. Some of you would have learned some of this information if you have called me and talked to me about adopting one of our schnoodles, either a mini or a giant, because I usually get around to talking about that to some extent, especially if somebody asks me about, oh, hey, Eileen. It's that A is just barely done. Hey, Mona, how are you? Anyway, most people, when they asking, I'm going to take this off because for some reason it is not doing its thing. Hopefully, let me know if you can hear me, please. A lot of people ask me about genetic issues because the giant schnauzer and the poodle, any breed that is a purebred dog, there are some little genetic things that happen, some are big genetic things that happen. And so people ask about the genetics of things, which starts me off on my speech about genetics and how genetics are fixed and how they work in our body. And just also a precursor, when I start talking about health and things of our dogs, the same information that I am giving about our dogs, I am serious, applies to you and me. And if we want to have a better health and immune system, which helps our little fur buddies, like in a big way, because when we feel better, we interact with them. We go on walks, we do things, we're alive, we're happy, we're good. So anyway, just so you know that this applies to you as well as it does your little fur pal. Sorry. Genetics are fixed. We all know that. We all know that our genetics are fixed. But genetics are like an equalizer on an old stereo. Do you remember that, when they had the little knobs to go up and down and you can adjust the bass and the treble and things of that nature? When we got those old equalizers out, they were all set at the baseline, one line, mid-range, none going up high, none going down low, just mid-range. That's how our genetics are when we come out. We're kind of set at mid-range, whatever our family genetics are. Now, based off of what we take in, what we eat, the environment around us, medicines that we take in, all of that stuff contributed can either push that up to where it is like really a heavy base. Let's deal with base. Let's say it's a cancer. Let's say breast cancer. Breast cancer happens in dogs actually quite a bit. So let's use something simple like breast cancer. It's midline genetics. If you've got a family history, if the dog has a family history of genetics, this is it. It's there. Now we have the chance to make that really come alive and broadcast greater by what we take in and how we do it. Things that are unhealthy for us are going to increase and make that bass thump louder. It's going to be a deep, deep, deep bass because we have given ourselves the stuff that is not good for us, ourselves, the dogs. And I'm going to get to my point on this. Or we can dial it down to where it's not even hardly audible, where it barely broadcasts, and which means you're not nearly as likely to come up with breast cancer issues. Now, one of the things, the reason why I talk about that is because when people ask me about the genetics of our dogs, one, when you breed two purebreds together, usually it knocks off that those genetic abnormalities, and it brings things, you have a stronger countenance overall with a mixed breed like a giant schnoodle. And we breed only at Oodles of Schnoodles, first generation, a Schnauzer to a Poodle, so you get a more purebred or pure blend of the two, I believe, after I've studied genetics for a while. Anyway, there are a lot of things go, well, what if this manifests or this happens? And I'm like, we play a big part in that. There is a lot of drugs out there that you hear advertised for your dog, especially now summer. It's heartworm, summer, the mosquitoes come out, they're talking about heartworm. There's the fleas, and there's the ticks, and there's the worms, and there's medicines that kill everything. Do your research. If your vet recommends, I don't even have the names of them because I do not use them very often, or I'm very selective in what I use for that kind of thing. But when we add poisons that kill everything on our dog and that come out of their skin, there is a more likelihood that that's going to affect the dog. It's just the way things go. It's just the way how things are. If we take in a bunch of toxic things, I've got to finish this tomorrow. I will talk to you later. Someone's coming to my door. It's going to get loud. I'll finish this actually here in just a